All right, so you're ready to head out into the field and record an interview, but there's a few steps you got to do before you go out, before you're really ready to start recording an interview. And one of those is that you've got to get your microphones ready to use. Now, there is an app on the computer, and I'll be cutting over to a screenshot of some of this in this video. It's called Rode Central, and it controls a bunch of different types of gear made by that company. But right now, we're going to use it to control our microphones. All right, we're going to start to get ready to use our microphones. First thing that we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and plug in our receiver, and you'll see that it pops up here on our Rode Wireless Go 2. See, we've got a little bit of charging to do. If you want to go ahead and work on the settings, however, go ahead and click on it. You'll notice here, it gives you a full, it's 48% battery. You know what, if you're out going to record an hour-long interview, that would probably be enough. But you know what, why not plan ahead and charge that thing up all the way before you leave? I think that's a good idea. The gain mode, so on the back of the receiver are a couple of buttons, and you notice they can go plus or minus, and this is in place of your gain knob on the recorder, like you have on the Zoom recorder. Well, I find myself not really using those very much, but this allows you to go between big jumps or just to the preset or fine mode. You can go gain, high, low, mid. Right. So this chorus, you go to fine, you can set it at 0 dB. I usually go -6. The mode. So this is telling the receiver what to do with the signal when it receives it, whether you should split it, that is, save it as a file, rather the audio signal coming in through the audio cable, whether it'll be split, so microphone 1 will be your right channel and microphone 2 will be your left channel. So it'll go when you're porting it through the audio cable to something like a camera, those two channels will be split. Remember, nothing's being recorded on the receiver, right? Also, if you have your iPhone plugged in, it will go and record those as left and right tracks on your iPhone if it's set to split. Now you change it to merged, and what it will do is create a mix of your left and right tracks, both on your iPhone and if you go ahead and port it to your camera. This can be good if you have two people talking, especially if you are filming an interview with two people talking and you want those tracks recorded in both left and right ears on your video track. Remember, the audio is still being recorded on the microphones themselves, so you can use a really high quality version of that and use that audio track instead. If this doesn't make any sense to you, don't worry about it. I usually leave the thing on merged for the recording, because if it's going to your iPhone, you'll want basically a mixed version of the recording. If you're doing something more sophisticated with your iPhone recording, we can talk about that. The safety channel is a nice feature where you can use both microphones to record at different levels. We're not going to be doing that. This is if you were going to go and record something where it was likely that the sound would spike and blow out your original channel. And so what it does is record a second channel or safety channel at a much lower recording. So say somebody had a drum kit all of a sudden. Those drums tend to blast out any sort of recording level you might have. That's what that's for. We're not going to be using it, so don't worry about it. And then the button telling you what it's going to do, whether it's going to turn the backlight on, place a marker on your recording. Sometimes, you'll notice in the software when we start importing the stuff, say something really important happens. Remember, these things can record for 7 hours, and so in the field, some people might just be recording everything, and they want to put a marker down when something important happens. That's useful for them. For us, this is a less useful feature right now, so I'm not going to use marker. I usually leave it set on backlight. These are the settings that are most useful for us. As you can see, in the time I've been recording this video, it's charged up 4%. So we also can check out our other items. In this case, our microphones. So I'll plug in this microphone and it will pop up. There is one of our microphones and recorders. So there, it shows that there are no recordings on this unit right now. And when you go, you can go ahead and click this little setting wheel, and this will tell you how it's going to go and record. Now, we really like them to be set to uncompressed broadcast quality. We have 7 hours of recording time. Why not? Again, it gives you a battery status, but these are really, really important settings. This comes out of the box set to off. In other words, when you turn it on and it's going, it's not recording anything. It's just sending a signal to the receiver, which the receiver then can send a signal to either a camera or your iPhone. But we want this to do one of two things. You can make them so the minute you turn them on, they start recording. There's an argument for that. The other thing you can do is set that where it's set to backup. And what this means is when you turn on the receiver, they will start recording. So that is kind of a nice feature. If you set it to always, it'll do that, all right, no matter what. So always or backup are okay. The thing about always is you'll have a little bit more recorded on there than you probably are ready for. The nice thing about it is if it's on, it's recording. You don't have to be like, gosh, did I forget to hit record on the receiver? So always is kind of a nice setting. All right. A pad. Well, the pad is for in case you have a really noisy situation, and what you can do is set that on or off based on that. A pad is basically what it's called. It is a pad between your microphone and a really loud noise. And so what it does is it steps down the decibels of the audio signal so it doesn't blow out your recording. One of the things about recording audio, you want to record as loud as you can without going over. You got to think of it like filling a bathtub. You want to get that bathtub really, really full, but you don't want it to splash over the sides. Audio recording is a little bit like that. The LED, whether it's bright or dim, and again, you could use the button to drop a marker if you wanted, or to mute the microphone. In this case, I think it's safer for us to go ahead and either have it do nothing or place a marker, because we don't probably want to accidentally mute our microphone, not for the oral history work we're doing. There are probably reasons in the field why that might be a good idea, but for here at Loyola, our uses, this isn't really something we really need to be thinking about doing. So get them charged up. When they're ready to charge up, we're ready to use them in the field, and that'll be the topic of the next video.